Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we proceed with our chapter number 4, which is production system for aquaculture technology. At the end of this chapter, you'll be able to determine the classification of aquaculture system. You'll be able to explain the types of aquaculture production system, and also you'll be able to describe the types of culture system in aquaculture farming. Right. There is a wide variety of production systems in the world for producing the aquatic animals and plants. Some production systems are suitable for marine environment, such as sea ranching, surface line, subsurface line, wreck, sea cages culture, land-based marine pond, tanks and hatcheries, whilst others are suitable for freshwater environment. Each one has its own advantages and disadvantages, and their use is controlled by several factors such as species culture, level of production, place of production, site availability, finance availability, and etc. Okay. In general, there are two types or two major classification for the production system, which is the first one is for the marine environment and the second is for the freshwater environment. And this environment condition will give or provide a different style of production system that can be used, and all this production system is controlled by several factors, and the most important thing is the site availability. Site availability will determine what kind of production system is very suitable to be made, and from this type of production system will determine the species that will be cultured. So that is the general information regarding the production system. Besides that, aquatic production systems are typically classified according to the types, biomass density, and feeding practice. A basic understanding of production system is vital to the successful practice of aquaculture. Being able to select the most appropriate production system is an important step when establishing or expanding an aquaculture venture. So, production system also can be classified based on the type of the system itself, the density of the culture organism, and also feeding practices. Right. These three classification will determine types of production system or their own classification. So after this, I will be explain how these three typical classification will determine the production system itself. For the classification of aquaculture, there are several ways to classify aquaculture facilities and production system based on the technology or the production system that we use. It can be classified as extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive, which is the most common ways to classify aquaculture based on the production per unit volume or unit area that we farm. Extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive is one of the common ways how to we describe the production system itself. It is also possible to classify the farm based on where it is located. It's either within the sea, in a tidal zone, or on land. So, besides using classification based on the production per unit volume, we also can classify the farm based on their location. Depending on the type of farming technology that we use, there are also a number of classifications based on the design and functions of the production unit. For fish, the following classification may be used, which is the first one is closed production unit, and the second one is open production unit. Closed production unit is where fish are kept in an enclosed production unit that separated 100% from the outside environment, which is, in simple word, is you control everything in your farm with no effect from the outside environment. While for the open production unit, where the unit has a permeable walls, and so the fish are partly affected by the surrounding environment. In other words, we can say that open production unit can be affected by the surrounding environment. This is the example for the closed production unit and open production unit. For the closed production unit, where all your hatcheries or farm is fully closed by walls or non-permeable units. Okay, contohnya dekat sini, atap adalah atap yang legap dan dinding yang tidak terbuka. So there should be no outside environment will affect the surrounding. For open production unit, usually the hatchery is more like open or semi-permeable, and surrounding environment can affect the tanks or fish inside the farm. Contohnya dekat sini kita menggunakan atap yang semi permeable macam canvas hitam atau canvas sepada telap, dan dinding ini adalah dinding yang terbuka. So jika berlaku sebarang perubahan dekat luar pada kolam kita, so seperti hujan ataupun panas, so perubahan suhu juga akan turut berlaku dekat dalam hatchery. So any environment changes outside the farm also will affect the environment inside the farm. Land-based farm may be classified by the type of water supply for the farm. Selain daripada kita classifykan dia dari segi open and closed production system, we also can classify by the types of water supply, such as gravity system and pump system. Gravity system is the concept of using gravity to flow the water from the upper stream to the lower stream. So the water source is at high altitude than a farm, and the water will flow by the force of gravity from the source to the farm. Okay, as compared to the pump system, the water source can be an equal or lower altitude compared with the farm. So here we are saying that the water source is located at the lower ground as compared to the farm itself. So you have to pump up the water to provide to the farm. For the tidal through flow farm, water supply and exchange are achieved using a tide. Okay, for the farm that are using tidal, kita panggil sebagai pasang surut air. The water supply and exchange will be achieved using a tide. Apabila berlakunya air pasang, so kita boleh buka water gate so that the water can flow into our farm. And when the time air surut, so we can open the water gate and the water can flow out from the farm to the stream. So that one is using the tidal through flow farm. Besides that, farm also can be classified by how the water is supplied to a farm that is used. If the water is used one flowing directly through, it is then a flow through system. And the second one is if the water is used several times with the outlet water being recycled, it is a water reuse or recirculating aquaculture system. or rust. Right. Selain daripada sumber air, kita juga boleh mengklasifikasikan sesuatu kolam tersebut dengan cara bagaimana air itu disupply ataupun bagaimana air itu digunakan. If the water is used once, jikalau air itu hanya digunakan sekali sahaja, di mana ada inlet dan outlet, air masuk daripada inlet keluar ke outlet dan terus discharge ke mainstream, so that one is we call as flow through system. Air itu tidak diguna balik. But if the water is recirculate from the inlet, go through the outlet, and from the outlet is being recirculate to the treatment system, and then will be reused again for the culture unit, so that one is we call as recirculating aquaculture system. Alright. Beside that, we also can separate the production system as to the monoculture or polyculture. Okay, kita juga boleh mengklasifikasikan dia sama ada kolam tersebut adalah monoculture or polyculture. Monoculture only involve the production of only one species of fish or crustacean or algae or plant. But for the polyculture, it involves the production of two or more species that to be cultured, such as fish and rice, or fish and lettuce, or fish with any vegetables. So this is also known as integrated aquaculture. For the aquaculture production system, that depending on the level of intensification, all existing aquaculture system can be organized and placed on the continuum of extensive system, semi-intensive system, and also intensive system. All these three classifications will determine what kind of farm or system or technology that we use during culturing. For the extensive system, in this system, there are little or no input at all is used in the production, with low stock intensity and thus low yield will characterize the system. There are low input and low output production system. Majority of small scale subsistence fish farmer are fall in this category. A low level of technology and a very low investment per unit volume farm will characterize this method. Pond farming without additional feeding, like carp farming, is a typical example. Besides that, fish production is extensive system based on the use of organic and inorganic fertilizer. Fertilization of pond promote the growth of simple plant which form the base of the food chain in the pond. Fish stock in this pond feed on phytoplankton, zooplankton, bottom dwelling invertebrate and smaller fish. As it's more effective, this type of production can be integrated with other types of crop or livestock production using animal manure and agricultural byproduct as source to stimulate primary production. Alright. Okay, so let me go through this one first. Untuk extensive system, ianya adalah we can call it as a very traditional system, di mana ianya adalah satu sistem kuno ataupun sistem yang lama, tanpa sebarang penambahan teknologi ataupun penambahan barang-barang lain, di mana ia hanya menggunakan konsep kolam dan juga melepaskan ikan ke dalam kolam tanpa perlu meletakkan sebarang aeration device ataupun monitoring, or you don't have to hire any expert because you only farming this concept of extensive system based on the, it's not based, it's more like to hanya bergantung semata-mata kepada sumber makanan hidup daripada kolam tersebut sahaja. Dalam ekosistem sistem, ikan hanya akan makan zooplankton, phytoplankton dan juga crustacean kecil yang ada dekat dalam kolam. Itu adalah sumber makanan dia 100%. Tidak ada sebarang formulated feed or commercial feeds that been added to the farm. So biasanya ekstensi sistem digunakan pakai oleh peternak-peternak di kawasan kampung ataupun pinggir bandar yang hanya mengusahakan kolam ni bukan untuk penghasilan yang tinggi. Ianya hanya sekadar untuk memenuhi permintaan setempat ataupun hanya sekadar memenuhi keperluan untuk hidup sahaja. It's not more than that. For the characteristic of the extensive farm, usually there is no feeding activity in the field. You don't have to give any feed or any food to the capture organism or to the fish. The stocking density is very low. It's around 20 to 40 cubic meter used in producing 1 kg of fish. In producing only 1 kg of fish, you need 20 to 40 cubic meter of water. That's very lots of water just to producing 1 kg of fish. So you may calculate if you have 100 cubic meter of water, or maybe 1000 cubic meter of water, just how many fish you can culture. Alright, so if 20 cubic meter water is for the fish, or for per kg of fish, 200 cubic meter of water is for 10 kg of fish. So for 100 cubic meter of water is only for 50 kg of fish. That's it. The density is very low. The amount of harvested fish is variable and based on the climate condition and also available field of the aquaculture activity. Ikan yang nak diharvest ataupun ikan yang nak ditangkap bergantung sepenuhnya kepada climate condition. If that season the climate condition is not very good, then you will have a very low growing pattern of the fish, ataupun you akan dapat ikan yang tak membesar sebab climate condition dia tidak sesuai. Let's say that year suhu sentiasa rendah, water quality is not quite good, ataupun dissolved oxygen dia pun rendah. So apa akan jadi? Ikan you lambat membesar. So you perlu extend your culture season lebih lama. Animal health and welfare is not under control. Tak kisah berkenaan dari segi kesihatan dan juga welfare of the animal. Food safety is low but the quality is higher. Alright. Ini disebabkan oleh ikan itu hanya memakan ataupun consume live feed throughout their life. So the preference of the fish is higher as compared to the other system. Sebab apa kita akan dengar okey, ikan ni ikan kolam ataupun ikan ni adalah ikan liar. So ikan liar normally akan lebih mahal berbanding dengan ikan yang diternak dekat dalam kolam. Okay. So this type of system dia lebih kepada konsep macam wild condition, sebab kita tak bagi commercial feed, dia hanya consume their own natural source of food sahaja. So that's why the quality is higher. Right. Second, semi-intensive system. Semi-intensive aquaculture aims to increase the production of fish from pond system beyond the level that's supported by food, which is naturally available through the use of supplementary feed. Supplementary feeds range from cereals and agriculture and fishery byproduct to formulated feeds. Traditionally, they are incomplete and would be inadequate as a sole source of food. Their function is to provide extra nutrients to complement those obtained from the natural food. Right, semi-intensive system ni adalah penambahbaikan daripada extensive system, di mana selain daripada kebergantungan makanan daripada sumber natural, kita juga bagi supplementary feed, kita juga bagi makanan tambahan. Okay. Di mana kita nak meningkatkan lagi dia punya penghasilan makanan supaya ikan yang dihasilkan ni adalah lebih tinggi. Kita juga ada letakkan juga sedikit teknologi ataupun we implement low technology to this type of system. Contohnya seperti pedal wheels supaya boleh meningkatkan kadar dissolved oxygen dekat dalam kolam. Right. So semi-intensive is a upgrade version of the extensive culture. The characteristic of the semi-intensive system is you feed the fish in the pond by using commercial feeds, and the stocking density is higher than extensive, which is you can produce 1 to 5 kg of fish per cubic meter of water. Before this, you only can produce 20 to 40 cubic meter of water required to produce only 1 kg of fish. So dekat sini, you only need 1 cubic meter of water to producing 1 up to 5 kg of fish. Right. So you punya stocking density dah makin tinggi, so you boleh menghasilkan pengeluaran yang lebih tinggi. Besides that, the amount of harvested fish can be planned. Sebab kita dah bagi makan, kita dah jaga dia, so you boleh plan bila you nak harvest dia dan bila ikan you sesuai untuk dipasarkan. You can plan that one. The oxygen amount is affected by the fertilization in the pond. Reduced oxygen can affect the fish health or welfare. Okay. Disebabkan masih juga ada live food yang kita provide kepada ikan, so kita perlu membaja kolam kita, di mana pembajaan kolam akan meningkatkan algae yang ada dalam kolam, which is as a main producer ataupun sumber makanan yang paling rendah dalam piramid makanan. So apabila algae tinggi, ianya boleh menyebabkan berlakunya crash of oxygen during the night. Okay, so yang dekat sini adalah kena jaga bila kita buat semi-intensive system. So you have to put some pedal wheels or aeration device to provide oxygen to the pond. Food safety is medium level and customer preference is high. This is because of the suitable price and the general appearance of the fish. Sebab ikan tu still lagi makan makanan natural, dan still lagi hidup dalam keadaan sepada semula jadi. So the preference of the fish is quite good, and besides that, harganya akan jadi lebih rendah berbanding dengan extensive system, di mana ikan dia adalah lebih mahal. So this one is more customer friendly. Right. Semi-intensive system adalah sistem yang kebiasaannya diguna pakai di serata dunia. Lebih-lebih lagi di kawasan luar bandar ataupun pinggir bandar yang mempunyai akses tanah yang luas dan perairan yang sempurna. So they are go to the semi-intensive system. Right. For the intensive system, the third one, this system using water flow in and out continuously. Okay, dia menggunakan sistem air keluar dan masuk secara berterusan, which is the flow through system or recirculating aquaculture system. air itu akan diguna pakai dan dirawat sepanjang masa. The system require good supply of good quality water, and less land is required to produce the same quantity of fish as compared to extensive and semi-intensive system. Okay. Untuk menghasilkan jumlah yang sama dengan ekstensif dan semi-intensif, dia hanya perlu menggunakan tanah yang sedikit. Tapi dia perlukan sumber air bersih yang bagus dengan sangat banyak. Such operation require high initial capital investment and high operational cost because they are using more technology and artificial input. Berbanding dengan ekstensif dan juga semi-intensif, intensive system adalah sistem yang paling mahal. Sebab ianya using more or less up to 100% using technology. And you also have to hire experts in handling this technology. They are mainly suited for high value fish, and this production can go higher with better management and quality of fish. Okay, biasanya sistem intensif akan menghasilkan ikan yang high value, such as grouper, hybrid grouper, or perisiakap. Okay, normally ianya akan menghasilkan ikan-ikan yang bernilai tinggi, sebab nak cover balik dia punya capital investment yang tinggi. The characteristic of intensive system is all nutritional requirement of the fish are provided by artificial or commercial feed. Makanan hanya disediakan menggunakan commercial feeds or artificial feeds. No existence of live food in this field. Tak ada live food akan diberikan dalam sistem ni. It fully controlled by the experts. Important environment condition is under control, where the marine water temperature, dissolved oxygen, pH and salinity, all these parameters will control or adjusted accordingly. Kita tak biarkan ia berubah dengan sewenang-wenangnya. Kita akan tentukan berapa dia punya condition. Right. So we are provide the best condition for the fish to grow. It also have high stocking density, where it can grow up to 20 to 80 kg of fish per cubic meter of water. And if the system is fully provided with the oxygen and another treatment or water treatment plant yang bagus, the production can be up to 50 kg cubic meter of water. So sebelum ni 1 kg ikan dekat ekstensif 20 hingga 40 cubic meter of water. Dekat semi intensif boleh menghasilkan 1 hingga 5 kg of fish per cubic meter of water. But in intensive you can go up to 50 kg of fish per cubic meter of water. So the production is very high. Sebab tu dia hanya perlukan tanah yang sedikit untuk menghasilkan pengeluaran yang sangat tinggi. Alright, for the type of culture system, I will provide you on the second section or second video. Right, I think that's all for now.